DreAllDay.com.
What's up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. This week's motivation is called Who Do You Need? And when I'm talking about who do you need, we're talking about being leaders and taking control or taking full responsibility for the things going on in your life. Now, I talked about before, I had a motivation several weeks back called Take Full Control, Take Complete Control. That's when you want to control as much as you possibly can in your own life so that you're less reliant on outside situations, circumstances, and individuals. Now, I don't know how much you guys listen to or read other stuff about human psychology, motivation, leadership, but somebody once said you can't lead people if you need people. If you need certain people, you can't be a leader to those people because you need them and they know that you need them. You can't be a leader to somebody when you're dependent on them. So what I'm talking about in this week's motivation, when I say who do you need, is talking about all your relationships, whether that be your relationship with your boss, with a coworker, with a teammate, with one of your friends, with your boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever your situation is. If you need that person, if you need to be around that person, you can't lead that person and you don't have complete control. Because if you need that person, if something happens between you two that messes up that relationship, or for some reason that relationship severs, now it's some part of your life that you have no control over, or that you completely lose, or it's completely haywire because you needed that other person. So the purpose of this motivation is, first you had to put yourself in a space mentally where you know that the people around you, you want them around you, you like having them around you, you enjoy their company, it works well between you and that person, but you don't need that person. Because when you get in a position of needing a person and that person is removed for whatever reason, whether it's something you did, something they did, or some unforeseen circumstance that just severs that relationship for whatever reason, then what are you going to do? You're stuck with nothing because you needed that person. So once you put yourself in that mental space, because I know some of you may be thinking, okay, well, let's say, for example, you got a friend, and that friend could get you into, all right, let's talk about basketball. You got a friend that could get you into the gym where you practice all the time. So you need to be cool with that person, because if you and that person ever become not friendly or not cool and they stop bringing you to that gym, you don't have a place to practice. So you like, Dre, well, I can't be like that. I got to be cool with this person. I got to be nice to them. Even if they do something I don't like, I can't really say nothing, because if that relationship severs, then I don't have this anymore. Well, this is how it works. We all know, I'm sure all of you heard before, that the mental manifests the physical. So once you put something in your mind mentally, it will manifest itself physically. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to just spontaneously combust. If you just think, I own a Ferrari, that tomorrow you're going to wake up and there's going to be a car with a big red bow outside of your door. That's not how it works. When we say the mental manifests the physical, it means once you put something in your mind and you believe it and you really feel it, you really believe that thing, the physical will manifest itself. Not that it's going to pop up out of nowhere, but when you put yourself in that state of mind mentally, you have no choice but to act the way that you're thinking. Whatever way that you're thinking in your mind, you're going to carry yourself that way. When your actions are carrying the same thing that you're thinking mentally, those things start to become, because your mental frame is putting your actions out there. Whatever you're thinking is controlling how you act. Now, all you out there, you know how your normal baseline attitude is, but if you ever get into some high emotion, like maybe you get really angry about something, and you're angry for like 20 minutes, you notice how your attitude is a little bit different. You walk differently, you talk differently, you got a different facial expression, you got a different look in your eye. People that normally see you and smile and say hi might see you and they notice a little something different about your expression, and they kind of leave you alone because they can see that something's different going on in your mind. It's the same thing with this mental change that you make. Once you put yourself in a mental space that, okay, I like having all of these people around me, whoever they are, but if something goes bad between this relationship, I'm still good. I'm still me. I'm still going to handle all of my business that I need to handle. That way, once you put yourself in that mental space, if somebody does something that makes you uncomfortable, somebody does something that crosses the line, somebody does something that goes over the barrier that you've set for yourself personally, the boundaries that you set for how people can deal with you, then you can confront that situation head on, and you're not afraid. You're not walking on eggshells because you're afraid of severing this relationship. You're like, hey, if this relationship severs, it severs because you crossed the personal boundary that I will not allow to be crossed. If it severs, I'm good. Whatever you brought to the table between us, I'm still going to have it, or I'm going to compensate for it in a different way without you, but that boundary will not be crossed. It's, I don't need you. I want you, but I don't need you. The more you need, the more dependent you are, the weaker you are, because that person controls something in your life. So once you take complete control, as I talked about in the motivation way back, and you put yourself in that mental space, I like you, I want you, but I don't need you, you have complete control. And what you'll find is that paradoxically, more people will need you the less you need them. That's your motivation for this week. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com.
What up? This is Noah from Indianapolis. Work on your game.